नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Om. Dear friends, we are seeing the Mahabharata. We are in this episode where the Pandavas, they escaped from that inflammable house. So we know that if you recall, Duryodhana had made an inflammable house, and then his plan was to burn these Pandavas alive in that particular building. But luckily, these people, they knew it, and then they dug a hole, not exactly a hole, what can we call, a tunnel, a long tunnel with all air passages in between and all that. And then the tunnel was opening into a deep jungle. They came out, and then thereafter they just walked in the entire night, taking guidance from the stars. And also they reached that river, Ganga river. They also crossed the river. They again walked all through the day. On the next morning also, all through the day they walked. And by evening, they reached one dense jungle. They were already in the dense jungle. They reached a place where there was a huge banyan tree. And that under that banyan tree, it was proper for them to just relax for some time. By that time, they were so totally tired. And Kunti was exclaiming, "Oh, what a fate. There was nothing to eat, no water to drink." And Kunti was exclaiming, "Oh, I am supposed to be the mother of all the 5 Pandavas. We don't even have water to drink." So Bhima felt very sad, and then Bhima wanted to look for some water somewhere nearby. And if you want to find water somewhere nearby in the forest, we have to look for the sounds of birds. If there are certain birds, there is some birds chirping at a distance. So obviously there is some little bit of water source there. So he followed the sounds of these water birds. Particularly some water birds also will be there. So these water birds, he heard the sounds, and then he followed. And nearby he reached one particular lake, and in that lake he also drank water. He took some water. Uttariyena paniyam anayamasa. Uttariyam means in those days they used to wear. Uttariyam does not mean normal Uttariyam cloth one, because in the cloth he can't carry water. So it was in olden days. If you see the Greek and the Roman figures also, they used to have a huge band of leather. So in olden days, in fact, even now when you see what is called this Yajñopavitam. Yajñopavitam, in olden days, it used to be with the deer skin, not the ordinary thing, much old. I am talking about very old days, like this Mahabharata days. They also used to have that deer skin. So if you see these Greek and Roman figures, you find that a huge band of that big band of that leather. So that obviously probably it also had some sort of a sack type of thing. We do not know. So he carried that water also. Uttariyena paniyam anayamasa. He brought that water for these people. But already they were asleep by the time he came back. They were so totally tired that they had fallen asleep. And he saw, then he just reflects on those people. Oh, what a fate has come. This lady who is the queen and then who is supposed to be in the palace, she is now lying on the ground. And this Arjun bin Dharmaraja, who is fit to be the king of the entire world, so he is there lying on the ground. And this Arjuna, who is a very great warrior, Nilambudashyamaha, Nareshva Pratimorjuna, he says, Nilambudashyama. Arjuna also was a dark man, see. In Mahabharata, there are 3 or 4 dark people. One is sage Vyasa. Krishna is a dark person. Arjuna is again a dark person. And also Draupadi. So these 4 are the dark people. Now and then we get the description. Here I am, Nilambudashyamaha, dark like that dark cloud. Maybe not black, slightly darkish. Anyway, that dark and handsome, that type of figure. Then Shete Prakrutavad Bhuma. Oh, what a fate has come on us. All these great warriors, all of us, they are just lying on the ground. And Bhima felt it was inappropriate to sleep, because all the people, that is the dense jungle, inhabited by all wild animals and all that. And these people, Jagartavye Swapanti me, at a time when they are supposed to keep awake, they are asleep. What is this? So he thought, and then he wanted to keep awake. So he wanted to keep a guard. So that is what people do. When 5-6 people, they stay in a jungle, at least one person at a time has to keep awake. By turns, they have to keep awake and then guard others. So otherwise, if all the people are sleeping, then it's gone. So any wild animals can come, and also any other thing might happen. So they should sleep in such a way. They should be nearby, and the man who is keeping guard, he should not sleep, and then he has to keep moving, keep watching. So that is what he was doing. So at that time, nearby there was a very big Rakshasa. We know that these Rakshasa, probably, in my view, Rakshasa were actually some sort of type of cannibal tribe. It could be some sort of cannibals, because in olden days there were cannibals. If you see some of the English movies, then all this jungle, where the people, they go into the jungles, and then they show all this wild African jungle. So there we find all these cannibals. So probably cannibals were here also, everywhere. It is quite possible. Wherever there is a dense jungle, there is quite possible. So there was a person who was a Manushyada, Manushamamsadaha. So he was a person who was fond of human flesh, and that man was a very mighty person. And that fellow's name is Hidimbasura. Hidimba is masculine, Hidimba is feminine. So that is why we get the name both Hidimba. Hidimba is Hidimbaha, if in Sanskrit is male. Hidimba is female. So this Hidimba, when I am talking about this man Hidimbasura, let me say it. This Hidimbasura, he smelt, because these Rakshasas, they have got a nice sense of smell. So this Hidimbasura, he smelled that human smell, human scent. Like the dogs, they get the scent. The people who live in the jungle, they are experts in sensing this scent. So because that wind coming from that side, it carries scent. So this man, he saw Agraya Manusham Gandham. Manusham Gandham is the smell of humans. So his mouth watered immediately. So he says, "Oh, my mouth is watering. Snehasravan prasravati jihva." Jihva means the tongue. My tongue is salivating, and my teeth are itching to bite into their flesh, he says. Akramya manusham kantam. Yeah. Deheshu majjaishyami snigdheshu pichiteshu cha. That is, my teeth are itching to I'll dip my sharp teeth into their flesh, and also I will I'll cut their blood vessels and drink what is it? Ushnam navam. That is a fresh and warm blood I want to drink. So that is what he says. The fresh and warm blood I want to drink. Then go and get them. Just kill them and then get them here. Then let us have a feast on them, and then we'll just dance thereafter. Nrutyava, sahitava. Nrutyava means we'll just, after eating, then we'll just make some wild dance. So okay, then this lady goes, and the moment she goes there, Bhima is keeping a guard. We know the story. And Bhima is Ayam Shyamo Mahabahuhu. Instantly she fell in love with this man, because this man is a Mahabahu, a very broad-shouldered person, and then Simhaskandha. Simhaskandha means like a lion, with just all that shape of the chest was that of a lion, and then very strong person, Mahadyutihi. And again, say golden colored person. Bhima is supposed to be extremely handsome person, and also Nakula. So this and she saw that when she saw that huge figure of Bhima, she instantly fell in love. And she thought, "Oh, I will not obey my brother's words. Naham bhratruvacho jatu puryam." I will not obey my brother's words. And why? Because if I kill these people and then go, we will have dinner for one day. But if I have this man as a husband, I will enjoy all through my life. So that is what he says. Muhurtameva truptischa bhavet. If we eat them, then what is there? One dinner and it's over. Bhavet bhraturmama evacha. Then hataireta ahatva tu modishye shashwati samah. If I don't kill them, I will enjoy for a long, long time. So she thought husband is more important than a particular one night's dinner. So it is a good decision anyway. Sa kamarupini rupam krutva manushamuttamam. And these Rakshasas, we see in our stories that they have the capacity to put on any form. So she turned herself into a very beautiful damsel, very extremely beautiful shape, such an enchanting shape. And she came to this Bhimasena, and Lajjamane Valalana. And a woman comes near a man, naturally she will be pretending to be shy and then very coy, very shy, and then Lajjamaneva. And then Divyabharana Bhushita, not only that, she was very well decorated, all types of ornaments and all that. Smita Purvam Idam Vakyam, she just smiled and then she approached Bhima and she inquired about him. Bhima also, Bhima tells, okay, we are, yeah, and she herself tells, I have come here on the bidding of my brother. My brother actually is a Rakshasa. He wanted me to kill you, but I don't want to kill you because I love you. And I want you as my husband and none else. Naha nanyam bhartaram ichchami. I don't want anyone else. I just want you. And now etad vijñāya dharmajña. And this lady Hidimba, she talks so much of dharma. It is improper for you to reject a woman who is in love with you. Of course, an unmarried woman. He is talking about it was dharma in those days to accept an unmarried woman. If that lady approaches, it was dharma of a man to accept that woman. So I am smitten by this love god, she says. Kamopahata chittangim. Kamopahata means I am smitten by this fellow called this god of love. And I can't control myself, you have to marry me. And she says, I will protect you. I will protect you from this Rakshasa because I am also equally powerful. I know all this Rakshasa Maya. Maya means all types of tricks or magic, whatever magic they knew. And I can protect you from these people. Bhima says, how can I come? They are all my brothers. Then again she says, no, I can protect them all. I can protect them all. Mataram cha naro gachet kamartaiva madvidha. She says, no, I will protect you all. So Bhima tells this Hidimba, Nahi me rakshasa bhiru sodhum shaktah parakramam. I am very powerful, I am strong enough. All these Rakshasas, they can't stand in front of me. Don't worry. Gachava tishtava bhadre. If you want, you stay here, otherwise you go away. You go away, you send your brother. So meanwhile, that man, that Hidimbasura, so that fellow, he is just waiting. This lady has not yet come. What happened? So he was feeling, his mouth was watering, and then so he came. He himself got down from that sala tree. He was sitting, probably they were staying on some trees. So avatirya drumat, he got down from that tree and then he came. And when he came, while he was coming again, this lady tells, no, my brother is coming. You make a quick decision and then wake them up. I'll carry you all. No, this Bhima says, no, don't worry. Then ma bhaistvam phrutu shushroni naisha kaschinmayi sthite. So already Bhima is using certain words. He says, sushroni. Sushroni means a woman with nice hips. Shroni means a hip. Sushroni, oh woman with nice hips. And Sumadhyame means with a nice slender waist. So this woman has already turned herself into a lady, a woman with a slender waist and a nice hips. So then this Bhima says, no, okay, you keep standing here. I'll face this Rakshasa. Then meanwhile, that man, Hidimbasura, comes and then he sees that his sister has turned herself into such a beautiful, almost like a bride. Then there is a description. Avekshamana, this, you see, Sragdama Purita Shikham, Samagrendu Nibaranam. Her face was like that of a moon, and she was wearing all flowers flowers in her hair and all, and in her neck. And Subhru Nasatshi Keshantam, very nice eyebrows and very smooth skin and very smooth nails. Sarvabharana Sanyuktam, all wearing all types of ornaments, and also wearing a thin cloth. Thin saree, let us say, susukshmambara vasasam. So if you want to tempt, naturally nowadays we see all transparent dress, etc. Probably she was also wearing some transparent dress. And this fellow got very angry. What is this Hidimba? What is it you are doing? Then Diktvam asati pumskame. Dik, he said, oh, you have brought shame to our family, our Rakshasa clan. You have fallen in love with an ordinary man and you have brought shame. I'll kill these people and then I'll come and kill you. Then, okay, Bhima challenges him and he says, no, don't kill a woman. If you want to kill, if you want to show your valor, you show on me. Then Bhima challenges. Then again, then there is then the Bhima says, let us move slightly away because I don't want to wake up my brothers and also my mother. Let us move slightly away. Then they both clash, and then Bhima immediately catches him and he dragged him along to a distance. Nigruhya tam balat Bhimah tasmad deshad hanum dhanums astau simha shudram mrugam yatha. Just as a lion drags a mrugam means a deer, he just dragged him. So there was a fight. Of course, there is a description of fight also, and how they pulled out trees and how they hit each other, etc., etc. And again, then meanwhile, with all these sounds, these people, they all got up. All this Bhima and this Kunti and all these people, they also got up. They also started watching. And meanwhile, this Hidimba, this lady, she went and approached Kunti. She fell and she bowed to her, and then Kunti was also surprised. Kunti was amazed to see this extremely beautiful woman. Uvacha madhuram vakyam, very sweetly she spoke to her. And again, that Hidimba, she told what all has happened. And then again, now Bhima and this Hidimba, they do fight. And Arjuna also volunteers to help. No, it is becoming night, and if it becomes dark, then all these Rakshasas, they become more powerful in dark. So before it becomes dark, you please finish him off. So then, okay, Bhima, he just Maryamano Bhimena Nanada Vipulam Swanam. So Bhima, he just lifted him up and then whirled him round, and then he just bet him, smashed him. Nishpishyanam. Nishpishyam is just smashed him. Then after that man died, now this lady, this Hidimba approaches Kunti. Hidimba now, she is complaining to Kunti. She has already learned the hierarchical structure. So she saw that Hidimba, that Kunti, and also the elder brother Yudhishthira. So she approaches them. She says, "Yes, I have fallen in love with this man. You have to allow your son to marry me. Aham te darshanadeva manmathasya vasham gata. I am under the control of this Manmatha. Manmatha is that god of love." So then Bhimasena says, "No, how can I marry you? Because demons. You may harbor enmity within your mind because you are a Rakshasa and your own brother is killed." Then Kunti intervenes. Then Yudhishthira intervenes. No, don't do like that. Now it is the turn of Kunti and Hidimba, that Kunti and Dharmaraja, to convince Bhima. No, don't worry, you marry her. Hidimba tu tatah Kunti abhivadya krutanjalihi. Hidimba approaches Kunti, and then she bows to her. Then she says, "I have chosen him as my husband." Then she also promises, I'll help you. Rujinath tarayishyami. At any point of time, I'll be of help to you. Anytime, if you are in any tough situation. Prushtena vahishyami. I can carry you anywhere, wherever you want to go. Of course, this we are going to see later. We are going to see in Vanaparva, when all these Pandavas, they go to forest after losing their kingdom, after the game of dice, when they lose their kingdom, and for 12 years when they spend their time in the jungles, then they go to very, very difficult terrains. In those difficult terrains, this Ghatotkacha, who is going to be the son of this Hidimba and Bhima, he and his people, his followers, they carry these people. Probably this Rakshasa, that is the reason why I feel that Rakshasa could be some sort of primitive tribe, extremely strong people who were able to move in the forest. It looks like that. Anyway, she promises, I can help you anytime. So Kunti also is seeing, not only Kunti is seeing dharma. It is appropriate, it is proper, because that woman has now become, her brother also has died, and then that woman is seeking protection, and it is proper to allow her request. So then Kunti is also she is also thinking that yes, this marriage may be of help at some point of time. She is also politically sagacious, we can say, politically sagacious. So Rakshasa could be some sort of at some point of time, these Rakshasas also could be of some help to her, to us. So probably she felt like that, because Hidimba is also talking a lot of dharma. It is very much, it is highly unrighteous on your part to leave me like this. And if I die, if you don't marry me, I will die, and if I die, you will get sin, etc., etc., all those things she is talking. So then Yudhishthira says, at last convinces Bhima, you please marry her. So then fine, and also they put a condition, Snatam Krutanhikam Bhadre Kruta Kautuka Mangalam, he says. And you have to follow our rules, because when you marry, when you come to our family, you have to follow our rules. You have to get up, you have to be, you have to, very early in the morning you have to bathe, and then you have to tell all our prayers, because there is immediately in the morning, when you get up in the morning, we tell so many prayers. There are also some prayers. Krutanhikam. Anhikam means Nitya Karma. What is called Nitya Karma? Some sort of puja, something like that. So you have to follow all that. She says yes. And then, okay, then after that you take Bhima with you. Then again you have to come back in the night. By nightfall, Bhima has to be with us. So like that it went on for some time. So these people, she married, these two people they married, and this lady, she took Bhima to all wonderful places. There is a big description also. Vyasa is saying, Shaila Shrungeshu Ramyeshu, on beautiful hills and peaks, and also in Muruga Pakshi Vigushteshu, nice places where all deer and all types of birds are there. Maybe something like bird sanctuaries and all that, all picturesque places. Let us say honeymoon places. So she took him to all honeymoon places. And again, after some time, she conceived, and then there was a Garbha. Garbha means Sadhyo Garbha, it is said. And in that Garbha, to them, this boy, this Ghatotkacha was born. And this Ghatotkacha himself, a Rakshasa, the moment he was born, he was born, and then instantly he became a very big person. And he was bald. In our films, we see that Ghatotkacha with long hair and all that. But in Hindi film, we see there is a Hindi Mahabharata. In that Hindi Mahabharata, Ghatotkacha is shown. That is actually true to Vyasa's text. There is a Hindi Mahabharata movie that is exactly true to Vyasa's text. So there, that Hidimba, this Ghatotkacha is a person totally bald head. So because he was a totally bald person, he was called Ghatotkacha. Ghatotkacha does not means that a person with no hair. That's all. So Ghato yasya utkacha iti matatam pratyabhasa. Ghata iva, like a pot. His head is like a pot. So that is the reason why Utkacha, a pot without any sort of hair. So that is the reason why he was called Ghatotkacha. So then, he even as a child, he was child means he was not child for a long time. Immediately he grew into a big person, and he was already Sarvastreshu Paramvira. He was already knowing all the astras. Astras means all the weapons and whatnot. And he says, yes, Kinkaroham Aryanam. He says, yes, I will obey you at any time you call me. I will be at your command. You call me any time. Then this Kunti also says, oh my dear boy, you are the first in our family. You are the first son in our family, because all these people, they are not yet married. Bhima is the man who is first marrying. You see, Dharmaraja is not yet married, but Bhima is already married, and then he has got a son who is already a very strong man. And Kunti says, oh my dear boy, Jyeshtha Putrosi Panchanam, for all the Pandavas, you are the eldest son, and at any point of time, you have to help us. So that boy also says, yes, I am here, I am here to help you. And then he goes away. So that is what it is. So then Pandavas, what happens to them? Meanwhile, sage Vyasa comes to them. Sage Vyasa, we see that in Mahabharata, whenever these Pandavas are in distress, when they are in some slightly distressed condition, when they are in a sad mood, then either sage Vyasa or some other Muni, sage, some other Rishi, comes and then consoles them, tells them about Dharma. You are all on the path of Dharma. Dharma will never fail. So you please continue to follow Dharma. And this Yudhishthira is going to be the emperor, etc., etc. They come and tell. And we find that the utterances of these Rishis, they will come true. So that is the reason why the Pandavas also, they are in good morale. Now and then they feel depressed, but then when Vyasa or somebody comes, they give them hope, and then again they are very enthused. So like that. So this Vyasa comes, Vyasa comes and he tells them, yes, I know that a lot of injustice has been done to you. Mayedam vyasanam purvam viditam. Yeah, I came to know of this. And these people, they have unrighteously, adharmena, dharta rashtrair vivasitaha, in a very wrong manner, you people have been exiled. And all this, what all has happened to you, it is, I know it. And though you and also the Kauravas, they are equal to me, but now I am in your favor. I am on your favor because you are in trouble. So though, from the point of view of Vyasa, they are the grandchildren. So grandchildren, naturally, either Kauravas and Pandavas, both are grandchildren. Both are equal to me, but then I have to support you now because you are in crisis, and wrongfully you have been expelled. So that is what he says, and he gives an idea. So I know a place, there is a nearby city called Ekachakrapuram. In that Ekachakrapuram, you please stay in this particular Brahmin's house, and you live like Brahmanas. So these people, they were already in disguise. Pandavas, they were already in disguise, of Brahmins, because in those days there was not much difference between Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, so except some attire. So if you were wearing a particular janu, you will be identified as a Brahmana. Just like generals and the army people or police people, depending on the stars, you identify the rank. So similarly in olden days, by the way the tuft was there, by the hair dress, etc., by the hairstyle, etc., or by the type of janu a man was wearing, people could say, oh, this man is a Brahmana, this man is a Kshatriya, etc., etc. Right now we also say people who are wearing these long lines, so we find they are the Vaishnavas, and some other people we say that, okay, they are Smarta, so something like that. So they were staying in disguise. These Pandavas, they were already in the disguise of Brahmins. Brahmam Vedam Adhiyanaha. They were also reciting Vedas, because in those days the Kshatriyas, they knew Vedas. In those days, all this, not only Kshatriya but all the Vaishyas, they also knew the Vedas. They studied the Vedas, Vedangani cha, Veda and Vedangani. So they were all discussing Vedas. Whenever there is some sort of Brahmin meeting, these people went and then they discussed. So this Vyasa comes and advises these people, you go and you stay here in this particular Brahmin's house. And he also assures them, your sons will live a long time, and then this Dharmaraja is going to be the emperor. He is going to be the emperor. And Yakshyanti cha Naravyagraha, he says, they will perform several yajnas. They will become kings, and then gives them all assurance. And you stay here in this Brahmin's house. So that is how they come to stay in a particular house, in a place called Ekachakrapuram. That Ekachakrapuram, there is another encounter with another Rakshasa. We are going to see it tomorrow. Harihi Om Tat Sat.